Good morning, grade 12s. Welcome to your last topic of this term. First, I want to congratulate you for working so hard on yourself by yourselves. In these times, you were forced to do a lot of self-study, and this is like I said earlier in my WhatsApp messages. This has really instilled a new quality and something which I think is lacking in the younger generations, and that's the ability to work on your own. The ability to sit down, to focus, and to figure things out on your own. Okay, so although you had a bit of resources to assist, you still had to do the majority of the work, and for that I commend you. So let's delve into this topic. There's going to be the following video to follow up with total quality management, but today we're just going to focus on quality and why it's important, especially on the business functions. We're going to spend some time there. Again, I just want to say, if you look at the notes that you have, you should just work from that. It's very sufficient. And when you study, just study about 6 bullet points. I don't think that should be enough. All right, so let's get into it. When you think of quality, what should you study? You should be able to define quality, quality control, quality assurance, quality management, quality performance, and quality management systems. And there's a few definitions that's important. You have to explain the difference between quality control and quality assurance. You have to show the difference between quality management and quality performance. You have to explain the advantages of a good quality management system. And the important one is how quality of performance can contribute to the success and or failure of each business function. So we're going to look at each business function and see how quality of performance can impact that, and then outline the quality indicators. All right, so that will be discussed in one. Okay, so before we start with the definitions, I want you to look specifically at, let's talk about some terms. So the term quality, it refers to your goods or services ability to satisfy specific needs. Why? Customers have got needs. We established that in grade 8. They've got needs and wants, and they want to buy a product that will satisfy their needs and wants. So when you buy a product, you're looking for the product with the highest quality, but that you can afford. So there's this balance that you want. Some people will go just for quality and then don't mind spending a lot of money. There's a few sayings that one of them is in Afrikaans it says goedkoop koop is duur koop. That means if you buy cheap, you're gonna have to buy again, which will in the end cost you more than if you just bought one product the first time of the best quality. Okay, so this is the efficiency of services and the ability to provide an effective outcome with too many delays. It's measured against specific criteria such as physical appearance, your reliability, durability, after-sales service. Okay, so how do you measure quality? So let's say we have chairs. As I'm sitting in class, I'm looking at the different chairs, and now we have to measure the quality of this product. Okay, so firstly, we need to assess it against the criteria. What is the purpose of the chair? It means, or the purpose is that you need to sit down and it needs to keep you in an upright position so that you can work. Okay, so all of the chairs, well, most of the chairs fulfill that function. So there's a few chairs that might need some attention because their back support is not quite in the right angle, or it's worn out. So we need to replace some of them. If you look at the criteria of comfortable, if it's comfortable or not, I think everyone can agree that that is still applicable. The chairs fulfill that function, and then most of the chairs have got the swivel function. Okay, so that's ease of access. So when you assess the quality of this product, you'll see according to specific criteria the chairs fulfill their function, and we will probably have to buy the same type of chair when we have to replace them, the old chairs. So we'll look at the same type of chairs because in this setting we also look at the different type of chair. We're not going to put in wooden chairs, because in this boardroom you can't have wooden chairs. We have to simulate the boardroom. Alright, so quality control on the other hand means it's a system that ensures that the desired quality is met. How? You inspect the final product to ensure that it meets the standards. Alright, so this happens in a production facility. For example, at Volkswagen, there's literally a few people walking around at the end or during each process. And then they walk around, see, is the car 100%? They will look at the alignment, they'll look at the lines, they'll look at the door fitments, everything to see if everything is fitted 100%. Okay, they'll check raw materials, the employees, machinery, workmanship, production to ensure that high quality standards are maintained. Now, we'll look at total quality management in the next video, but that's a very big differentiator, and that was brought about by the Japanese, I believe, Toyota. Okay, so it includes setting targets, measuring performance, and taking corrective measures. So firstly, you'll set targets to say, we want to achieve this level of quality. Why? We want to reach a specific target market. How do we measure that? We're going to measure it by implementing the following principles, and then we have to measure it to see if we abide by it, and then if there's any correction necessary, how will we do it. I've been on a few production sites, and there's constantly a few people, they've got a quality title. They walk around and then they've got this template. Let's say at a facility where they do metal pressings, they've got the template, and then each part that's pressed, right? This is a machine that compresses the same part in the same way, same template, same tool, and it just repeats for 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 parts, right? It's just the machine that goes. So they inspect each and every one by fitting it onto a type of a template to see if the holes that needs to be there on the right place. They put it in a mold to see if it fits 100% into the mold, and if there's a slight deviation, they scrap it. Okay, that's how serious companies are. Because if they deliver a part that does not fit to the car, for example, then they are not paid for that. That means there's transport cost, they have to replace that. So they eliminate that cost by having a quality control process in place. Alright. Quality assurance, we're going to look at that a bit detailed later. The checks are carried out during and after the production process. It ensures that required standards have been met at every single stage of the process. Processes are put in place to ensure that the quality of products adhere to preset standards. Okay, so this is what I explained now. So this is where you have a die, you've got a mold, you test the product against a specific quality of what it should be like. So let's take a door panel. A door panel is made out of steel, aluminium, or whatever. Alright, so the company has got the tender from an OEM, a car manufacturer. They then stamp door sides. Okay, so they'll stamp it, the specific door panel, and then they'll do 1,000 a day, right hand, 1,000 a day, left hand. Now they have to ensure that the quality is correct. So they'll have a template. They'll put this door under luminous lights. They'll light up to see if there's any shrapnel, any rough edges, any edges that shouldn't be there. They'll test everything and they'll mark it by color. There's different colors that they'll mark it, at different angles that should be there, different holes, different shapes, different lines, and if that's not there, it will be scrapped or sent back to be restamped. Alright, quality management refers to the techniques or tools used to improve the quality of the product. This can be used for accountability, and it aims to ensure that the quality of goods or services is consistent. Now, this does not necessarily just focus on production. There's a lot of quality management in each of the business functions, and that's why we're going to look at that a bit later. Last definition is a quality of performance. Quality of performance of each department is measured against specific standards. This can be obtained if all the departments work together towards the same quality standards. Okay, quality is measured through physical product and statistical output of processes of the buyers of goods and service. So we're going to manage the performance of each department. This is what it's all about. You want to see how your department functions. Okay, so let's take the financial department. It's quite easy. They've got a set of outcomes to deliver. They've got their deadlines. Are they meeting it? Yes or no? Okay, next one. What's the quality of their work? Do they make a lot of mistakes or don't they make any mistakes? So we need to understand that from this perspective. Okay, so let's you need to identify these concepts from specific scenarios. All right, so they'll give you a scenario and saying Volkswagen is running this and this quality. They're trying to improve their quality. With each car pressing, they have an inspector and they make sure that during each step they want to assure that there is no mistakes. So what concept are we talking about? Then it's easy, it's quality assurance. Okay, why? Checks are carried out during or after. So you need to understand these definitions to give an answer. Okay, the differences between quality control and quality assurance. Quality control is you inspect your final product. So that's just at the end. There's no during the process. Quality assurance is during the process as well as after the production process. So you make sure that during each and every single step, you will have the quality. Now there's advantages and disadvantages. With the quality control, you just have 1 or 2 people doing quality checks. All right. These are spot checks, and this you'll use in different circumstances. So, for example, at some parts that you don't need a lot of quality checks, you'll just need to check overall. All right. See if the quantity is right, see whatever is right. But if you need to inspect it at each process, it's very labor intensive. That means there's a lot of people involved. That means you'll have to ensure that each and every one knows what they're doing, and you'll have to pay for it, so it's quite expensive. All right, you'll also use this in more in a setting where you have to check quality because your cost to repair or to replace is much higher. Okay, quality control includes setting targets or measuring performance and taking corrective measures. Quality assurance ensures that every process is aimed at getting the product right the first time and prevents mistakes. This is when you have a specialized product that you don't want to make mistakes on. Why? Cost money. Quality control as well. It's checking the raw materials or employees, the workmanship or the products to ensure that the high standards are maintained. So it's not just the product. You check on their work, you check on the people. Whereas quality assurance is you're building in quality. Okay, so there's a massive difference. The first one is you check up on them. The other one is you build in processes, quality assurance. So they know they have to follow this process, and that will lead to a good quality product. All right, let's continue. What's the difference between quality management and quality performance? Quality management is the techniques or the tools that's used to design, improve the quality of a product. Whereas quality performance is the total performance of each department measured against a specific set of standards. Okay, so quality management is about tools used to improve the quality, whereas quality performance is how do you measure it. Quality management can be used for accountability, and it aims to ensure that the quality of goods or services are consistent. Whereas quality performance can be obtained if all departments work together to the same quality standards, and this is then measured through physical products or statistical output or surveys by the buyers of the product. Okay, you should be able to reproduce these two tables and understand the difference between them. Okay, so what's the benefits of a quality management system? So now, let's say we're a manufacturing company, we want to supply a good quality product. So now we'll start. Okay, effective customers services are rendered. This results in increased customer satisfaction. Okay, so when you have a good quality management system, it means you will render good services, which means you will have more customers returning. Why? You've got a good quality in place. because of your quality management system. This is the system you put in place to ensure that your products or services are of a certain quality when it's sold to the final user. Okay, your time and resources are used efficiently. Why? There's no time, there's no wastage, there's no items that you need to replace or repair or fix. So you use your time and resources efficiently. The productivity increases due to your proper time management and your using of your high quality resources. You're focused because your processes are in place. You can produce because you know even if there's a mistake, you'll catch it right there, and it uses less time and less resources to fix it, which means less cost, which means you can produce more, which means you can sell more, which means a higher profit. Products and services are constantly improved, resulting in the increased levels of customer satisfaction. The vision or mission or business goals can be achieved because you've got a quality management system. People know that while you're focused on this, they can support you, and this is your goal, so you achieve it. Business has a competitive advantage while your quality is in check. Take a restaurant, for example. If you go to a restaurant and you get this delicious meal, you are so excited, you want to tell everyone about it. So there's a special, everyone goes and everyone's happy. But then I go to another restaurant and there you find an old piece of lettuce or a worm or something. That's the first thing you're going to think, what quality did I just get? And that is the same thing as good publicity versus bad publicity. So here you'll get a competitive advantage if your quality is better than your competitors. Okay, regular training will continuously improve the quality of their skills. So this is what we're doing: repetitive learning. Okay, the more you do it, the better you get at it. Okay, so you have to continue training and improve everyone's skills. Employers and employees will have a healthy working relationship. That means there's a happy and productive workers. Why? There's no shouting. The employees know what they need to do. They've been trained. They are confident. They are equipped, and they're masters of their trade. So they're delivering a quality product. That gives them a happy supervisor, a happy team leader. They meet their targets. Their bonuses will be paid out, and in the end, everyone's happy and they work harder towards the same goal. Increased market share, that explains itself, and it improves the business image, as I said with the restaurant image. Alright, the next video will start with the business functions, so we'll start that off you'll watch this video after this.